wouldn't say I've actually had the balls to do top speed. I have done Santa Pod a few times and it's done well in excess of 110. On private roads, airfields and stuff, I've done 122 I think, but with the aerodynamics of it, it's like shoving a brick through the air, so it's not the best. It's like wrestling with a bear. It's fine 1 minute, next minute it's going to kill you. So I'm Scott. This is my 1958 right-hand drive camper. It's an 11-window combi, originally imported into UK, and yeah, it started a bit of a different life, I suppose. I'm the 13th owner. I'm not quite sure of the previous ownership. I do need to chase the history, but when I got it, it was literally a complete shell, bare metal shell, sat in a garage for 6-7 years, looked a bit sorry for itself, so to my surprise I got it, and then the restoration begun really. I just had a passion for VWs, always loved the Beetles, but at the time I wasn't specifically looking for this. It came up at the right time and I got it. It was at the time really that these weren't ridiculous money either. It was still expensive compared to a car. I think I spent something like $7,500 for it as a shell, but it had all the glass in it, all the original components. Didn't kind of jump into it thinking it was going to get done tomorrow, but loved the idea of developing something that I'd build myself. Car experience has been not massive. Classic wise, really this started me off. I've owned this for 15 years. I got it fairly young and I think my dream was to do a lot with it, but at the time money didn't really happen, so I got it to a running state, but you looked inside, it was completely bare. So as much as it ran and it was functioning, it was just bare. It did start life as early legacy lump, which was around the sort of 150, 200 horse mark. I got a company to do the basic conversion to start, and then it kind of snowballed from there. As it currently sits, it's a 2.1 litre stroker, which the short motor was derived from a early Subaru Impreza STI block, which is a closed deck, which was the most capable block, harder wearing block, the best block to use really. All the rally lads use it. As much as I'm not going to push that engine to its maximum, I knew it was all going to be good. Throughout the years I have gone for a few engines through, not fault of my own, some fault of my own, but this is my fourth, and yeah, it runs on, like I said, a 2 litre closed deck block, bored out to a 2.1. It's got STI4 race heads on it, valves. The injection system is a parallel injection system. It's got a fuel pressure regulator, custom tank in the back, which is baffled, foam filled, and also swirl pot. So on acceleration, it doesn't lose pickup. 1000cc injectors, a bit overkill, but it does what it needs to do. They're running probably a quarter chat. That's about it. Turbo that's on it at the minute is a small baby hybrid turbo, so I still have boost, low down and mid-range. Yet again, very low miles on the engine at the minute, so it's only running very low boost. We limited it to about 1.7, 1.8 bar, still giving good figures, but for drivability of this vehicle, it's very, very tail happy if you was to put any more in. So yeah, it's equal compromise between power and weight. I could get a lot more power if I really wanted to, but for the drivability, we went for a dual map system as well, so I can drive it, to be honest, limited on boost, around 0.8, 0.9 bar of boost, which weight of the vehicle is about 1.1 tonne, I think, on the weighbridge, and it's kicking out about 230, 240 horsepower at that on the low boost. A variation of many things, but yet again, I've reduced the engine components down to simplistic forms. There's no power assisted steering. Expansion vessels are moved and fabricated to the actual rear engine bay to suit it. Top-ups for the heating system, for the radiators and stuff are also synced in there. And yeah, just very minimal, but it does what it needs to do. It wasn't going to be originally orange. It's like anyone starting out. I think you sit back and think, what colour combinations are going to go? Got a really good friend from over the years that has his own body shop, which is quite low to us here. I took it into him. He ripped his ear out and said, I don't want it, just primarily because what they are a lot of work to do bodywork correctly and get it right. He'd come back with a couple of samples of what do you think to this colour, what do you think to that colour, and I've always had a bit of a passion for orange, bright colours. I'm not a boring person. So yeah, just kind of went for the orange, and then it was what kind of works with the orange. Is it going to be a darker colour? Do we go for like a grey, or do we go for more of a white or a pearl white? And it kind of ended with this colour combination. So, but bodywork wise, There's very, very little filler at all, if any. As much as I love straight panels, they will never come out of the factory straight. They were literally panel rolled, processed. So if you look down the side, there's always ripples where they've been TIG welded, spot welded, and that's what I wanted to keep. I wanted to keep the originality, the character of it. So as much as there may be a few seams of weld, I've not gone around with Tiger Seal and covered it. You can see everything. So the underbelly is gloss white. Probably not the best choice because of obviously I'm washing it all the time, keeping on top of it. But it's as immaculate underneath as it is on top. My whole plan was, even if you can't see it, I know it's done how it's meant to be done. So the car interior is, because I started going a bit more racy and it's a little bit more pokey than most, I thought I'd go for the nice sort of original race type theme. So original like Porsches had like the suede and the leather. As though it's not a race car or as such, I wanted that nice leather feel with a nice bit of suede. So it's got Alcantara roof lining front to back, custom lighting front to back, all touch lighting, LED, fully carpeted front to back and sound deadened throughout. The seats at the rear are all 100% calf leather. As much as I like faux leather, I wanted to do it proper with everything else I was doing proper. And yeah, that yet again evolved. I didn't really want padded door cards, so then I went carbon because it gave me that race feel. And yeah, it is just one-off bespoke interior that Ken's Customs at Asphodel Azouche did and did an amazing job. A lot of other people did alternative things in there. So later down the line, I wanted a table in the middle that I can get my friends in, we can put drinks on, we can chill out when it's not so nice weather. And a guy that I actually met through Instagram, Against the Grain, so amazing guy, follow him, like his stuff, made me a walnut and resin table to suit, and amazing, I love it. So practical, pulls out the way, and yeah, just a bit of practicality rather than just what it is. I say, we did a bit of a comedy thing on it where, as much as we don't really use the interior that much, it's not the biggest of interiors, we can sleep in it, but when we've got friends at shows, we put like a mini bar in it, so we've got interior lighting with vodka bottles, little vodka glasses, and yeah, we can make it into a bit of a mini bar, bit of a get together and chill out on a night. So that's another little feature. It's running a race technologies digital dash, so rather than relying on manual gauges and stuff now, it has a full digital dash which does holographic speed sensors, fuel pressure, oil temperature. It literally does everything, so I can monitor everything. It's all mapped in safely, oil pressure drops, engine cuts out, same with all the other stuff. Originally, the van, when I got it, was originally on, I think they were called crow's feet, so it was wide 5 205 PCD. It was an original bus, original drum brakes all the way around. It evolved to fuchsias, so I changed it to Porsche pattern, went to a fuchsia wheel. It was a bit overdone, so as much as I loved the wheel and there were split rims and everything else, I just felt that I was joining the crowd, I wanted to be different. So these that sit on it now are a custom banded wheel. They are bespoke to the bus. They're as wide as they can physically go without modifying the rear tubs and bodywork and swing arms. So I'm running about an 8 1/4 inch wheel on the back, I believe, which leaves about 5 mil to the swing arm and about the same to the bodywork. Getting the wheels off at the rear is an absolute nightmare. Just if you ever get punctured, just even the AA will just say, right, we're towing you. As all VW owners know, and bus owners, if you go in low, you're going to have issues. Fronts, same wheel but banded, slightly different. It's a 4-inch narrowed beam. I wanted to keep the lips fairly substantial, so I narrowed the beam not necessarily to pull my wheels in, but to give myself more of a dish. It is tracked and narrowed, and it's been tubbed on the front to allow me lowering. The only real, from the exterior, from an original bus, the only things that are different, the bumpers are all stock. They're from factory, originally came with the bus. Semaphores have now been converted to hazard warning lights, because over motorway driving, if I want to change lane, it would literally just rip the semaphores off. So they're now a hazard light. The scoops on the back allow airflow for intake over my intercooler, and also air to my induction on the left. My turbo's been repositioned to the grills on the left, which gives it less heat soak towards the engine and the intercooler. There is also engine mounted fans which draw the air straight out. So as much as we get airflow in, the fan mounted on the rear tailgate draws it out, pretty much like a Porsche system. So over the wings, into the engine bay, boot lid, air out, and it works really well. Peaking probably about 90 degrees, don't really go over that, even on hot days. Biggest achievements, I think, was last year, first proper outing with the new engine. I made it to Volkswagen, got a lot of recognition, really enjoyed the show. And then we progressed on to a lot of others, so Stamford Hall, brilliant. Pot the Wolfsburg bus crew, got recognition of best stand, amazing. Then we went on to Harewood House later in the year. It took best in show, which I didn't expect whatsoever, but it took what called best in show. So upset a couple of RS6 owners, RS4 owners. Amazing show. Weather, yet again, come into play, wasn't the best of weather, but we enjoy it, whether come rain, come shine. It's just the joy of going to shows and stuff. So I'd definitely say my biggest achievements, Harewood House, didn't expect it whatsoever, but I wouldn't have been able to do it either without Gaz, one of my best mates, is a mechanic, so any little problems, he's always been on my side when we're at shows. Camper Jam, keep forgetting all the times he's broke down. Camper Jam was going on to display stand on the Sunday, and the turbo decided to split in two. The V-band blew off on boost, coming out of the site, going into show. Set my turbo sock on light, flames everywhere. We're all panicking, set off early in the morning. Just was only on site at the top camping, but we come down and we're all like, something's not right here, I've got no boost, got no drive. So all my mates flooded out, all of them helped. We pushed it into site, no one would know any different. But yet again, one of them joys of owning a VW. I'd probably say the funniest thing was the purchase of the vehicle. I wasn't really obviously getting any form of car. I knew I wanted an old classic. Got this phone call that I'd made an offer. I didn't tell anyone that I made the offer to the gentleman that actually owned it before. Mum was currently on holiday. Come back, old VW parked on the drive. Two wheels on the front, no engine, no drive shafts. Been towed there, kicked off like anything. I can't move it now, it's got no engine. So the funniest thing is that she always put that against me, but now it's obviously a finished product. She can see what it is and what these are sort of fetching. Not that I'm selling it, but what it's sort of worth. She sees that it's my passion, interest, and this is what's happened really, and come out of it as a result. It's amazing to go down the street and see loads of really young people to old people, literally just gobsmacked to turn around, smile, wave. You get everyone from young kids to elderly people just waving at you. It's amazing. You just go down with a massive smile on your face, to the absolute sheer shock of overtaking stuff like E46 BMWs, E92s. There is a limit of what I can say I overtake, but let's just say it overtakes quite a few and it surprises a lot of people. So when it comes to a time where people are dawdling, you overtake it, people are like, did that really just overtake me? Rach has always been a big support since we've been together. She absolutely loves it. Come rain or shine, regardless if we've got a garage, it's outside, jacked up, doing bits. She'll be in her scruffs, underneath it, polishing it, just helping me passing a spanner. She'll even get hands on dirty, so bleeding the brake system. She absolutely loves it. An amazing support for me. She's always there for me regardless what happens. And yeah, thanks Rach. Obviously this wouldn't be here without you either, so that's another massive thank you in my life for getting it where it is. When I first got it, I didn't really have a plan. It was really make it a functioning vehicle. I'd like to go to shows because I loved obviously the show scene and the atmosphere, and it wasn't to be standing out. It was more an expression of myself, but at the same time a social aspect of I could do stuff that I enjoyed on it, the braking, I could then go on to bodywork, I could then do the engine side of it, which was a learning curve more than anything. But then at the same time we could go to Santa Pod or Bug Jam or Harewood House at Stamford Hall and just feel the experience, but also have that social aspect with all friends that have got common interests. And along the way I've met amazing people, and this is what it's all about, I suppose.